everybody, and welcome to your 10th episode of your motivational station, Tall Handsome Coaches podcast. Super excited because when I started this podcast, I wasn't really sure how it would go. I wasn't sure if I would actually follow through, and I really committed to writing down, when I wrote down my goals, I want to commit to a 30 episode season. So I'm super excited to keep sharing this with you, getting good feedback, and hopefully the objective of making your day, of changing your mindset, especially on a Monday, is so important. If you can start to change mindset, especially when you wake up, first thing when you wake up, and I always like the rule of 11 o'clock. So if I can get my whole day done by 11 o'clock, what's going to change is I got momentum for the day. Now I'm feeling good, and if I can get everything I need to get done by 11 o'clock, if I wake up early enough, that's the momentum I'm going to get from doing this, and then I'm going to want to build something else, and then I have the whole day to kind of do what I want. Today's episode, we're going to be going over what makes somebody the ultimate version, okay? How do you create the ultimate version? What is the ultimate version? And what are the characteristics of the ultimate version of yourself? Of how do we get to our ultimate version? Or is it too much work? Are we willing to put the effort? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But today we're going to kind of go over some of the things which I believe to be a huge part. If you want to change things and you want to set yourself up, you got to start changing, because you'll never change if you don't change. And when you start changing, that's when things start to change. So I hope that makes sense of, that's a lot of changing, but that does make sense. Okay, so, and what version are you? So if we look in the mirror, okay, I wanted to ask you guys a question. What version do you think you are? Are you living 7 out of 10 of your life? Are you living 8 out of 10? And are you okay with that? Like, are you comfortable at not giving 100%? And there is nothing wrong with that. Not everybody wants to push to their potential, but people often want to talk about it. People often want to practice it. People often want to, say that they're going to do it, but most of the time, 60, 70% of the time, they're not actually going to do it. If you want to be great, if you truly want to be great, if you say you're going to do something, you go ahead and do it. And you do it, and you don't brag about it, you don't complain about it, but you gotta do it, okay? And if you're the person who says they're gonna do it all the time, your reliability meter starts to go down and down and down. And then nobody takes you seriously. You have no credibility. You're not a reliable person. You will not get a good job because you don't have that. People can't put trust in you. People can't put faith in you. And that's a shitty feeling. You want to be somebody that people can rely on. And that's how friendships are built, and relationships are built. You can't build a relationship and a friendship and a good relationship with somebody you can't trust. Somebody that hey, come over at 7 o'clock, help me move, and they ain't showing up. Nobody's going to show up, and don't waste your time with that. If you have those people in your life, you have to start cutting them out. You have to start eliminating anyone who toxifies your day, okay? And if somebody is consistently toxifying your day and you've let them know, then it's time to say, hey, let it go. You know what? You are not worth it to me. I don't care if you're my mother or my brother or my sister or my friend. Seriously, if you're going to have somebody in your life that's going to seriously affect your mood every single day, that sucks. That sucks to be drained like that. And it's like a vampire. And if you have a vampire in your life, you know what I'm talking about. They will dig right in here and they will suck your energy out, and you could be feeling so friggin' good, and guess what happens? Right after they suck that energy out, you don't feel good. They've taken all your energy, and that's physical and mental energy, and you won't have the mental energy to want to do the physical things, because you need that momentum. So if you have somebody toxic in your life, okay, it's like a piece of fruit in a bowl. You got to get that out, because what's going to happen is then they're going to start toxifying the whole bowl, and you don't want to do that, especially with your surroundings. You want the people around you, the 4 to 5 people around you, to be good, to be wonderful, to push you, to make sure they're supportive, to motivate you. And if they're not, then kick them out. You got to find better friends. You got to find a higher standard for yourself. And if you're not living to your standard, if you're living that half-ass kind of standard, it sucks. And it's fun for short term, but you got to start thinking long term. And short-term thinkers get short-term results, and it's short-term satisfying. So if I say, okay, somebody's quit the program, well, then they go and binge eat for 2 or 3 days. This is great. This is so much better. I can do my own workouts. I can do my own eating, and I can eat kind of whatever I want. But by day 5, 6, they feel like shit. They feel like shit because it doesn't feel good when you're not progressing. It doesn't feel good when you put healthy garbage or unhealthy garbage in your body and expect a healthy version of the output, because that just doesn't happen. The action doesn't meet the reaction there. Sorry to tell you. If you want to feel good, you got to put good food in, good fuel. If I pee in my gas tank, my car is not going to run very well because that is not good fuel for my car. Okay? And something I always tell my clients, you got to treat your body like a car. This is your baby. What do you have? Do you have a Sunfire or do you have a Mercedes? Which one do you have and how do you treat it? And I mean, it's funny because you can take your car and be like, okay, well, this person has way too big traps. Well, I consider that a spoiler. This person has, really big legs. Well, maybe the tires are too big for the car. So the whole goal here is to get the vehicle, the person, to get and look proportioned as possible. And when all the parts, are in the right spot, the car's going to work a lot better. The car's going to move a lot better. The car's going to get way, way better and faster and stronger when everything is in the right parts. But if you're trying to maximize one area, your balance effect is all messed up. It's going to kind of go into that debit section because you've maxed your tires out, and now guess what? You can't even get into your car. You have a 4-year-old and your truck's this high. The whole goal here is to get a solid vehicle, okay? Not to add all the aesthetics, but to go back to the foundation, get everything in order first of all, and if you can get everything in order and you get the right parts, that's when you start to shape. That's when you start to add the rims. That's when you start to add all the nice chrome. But you don't do that until you backtrack enough to fix your foundation, and that's what first week of a transformation process should be. It should not be, hey, let's get as much as cut as possible, let's lose 11 pounds and push as hard as we can, and then die out so you only last to week 3 because you're going to die out. The whole goal is to build that solid foundation. If you don't know how to do a squat, or you think you know how to do a squat but have never been trained to do a squat, you're going to get a news flash. We got to backtrack to right track here. And if you go backtrack, what you're going to do is get stronger in the long run. I use the pull-up example. I see a lot of guys at the gym and they do half pull-ups. Well, if you want to get better, start doing full extension. But what that's going to happen is it's going to kill your pride, because now you could have done 10 pull-ups and now you can only do 8. So see what I'm saying here? So you have to compromise. You have to backtrack to right track. So then you have to go all the way down. Well, now you can only get 3 full ones. Well, next time you do the gym, you can do 5 full ones. And now next time you go to the gym, you can do now 8 full ones, back to what you were, but with proper form, because we backtrack to right track. And I think that somebody who's building the ultimate version of themselves is not ignorant enough to say, hey, I know everything. I need to learn. They're always open. And the quote I love is, the more interest you have, the more interesting you become. And it's so true that, for me, I was a big, at the start, I would say, opera music, for example. Let's take that, for example. If I said, hey, listen to this opera song, many of you guys would be like, hell no, I don't like opera, but you've never even heard it. So you're judging even before. So open up that interest, okay? Because you can still like that. There must be a reason why people like opera. There's hundreds of millions of fans that like opera, but you're judging me like, I don't want to listen to that. Well, you've never even heard it. Have you taken the time to appreciate it? Do you know the magnificent, amazing sound it can create and what kind of mood it can put you in? You know what I mean? Like, you don't understand it is the problem, and that's why you're hating on it, and that's what we do as human beings. And even to a program like mine, people see all the transformations, they see the bikini pics, they see the ass pics, and they think, oh, I don't want to do that, I don't have my pictures all over Facebook. But deep down, they really do. They want to be proud of themselves. They want to have me post them and be proud of them too, and show them off, because they're getting the results they actually want. But they're not willing to invest into themselves because they heard something from somebody, or they don't want to do the work, or they don't want to do the diet, whatever the case may be. You'll find reasons, and the reasons always sound really good to you, okay? And they'll sound good to you, and they might sound good to your partner, but at the end of the day, what's the result? Are you getting the result, or are you just finding little tiny things that you can make excuses so it sounds a lot better when you tell people that's why you didn't finish a program? So crucial. If you just go backtrack, right track, build your foundation, and then build strong, build momentum. Don't try to sprint through the whole thing. Start by walking. When we learn to walk, we don't just, I'm a baby and then I jump right into sprinting. That doesn't happen. You have to crawl, then you have to walk, then you have to jog, then you have to run. And that's the process we have to take in any transformation. If you can appreciate that long-term process, that long-term benefit of a program, I'm going to say a program like mine because it is fit for lifestyle. And I mean, the nice thing is everybody's an experiment. Not one single person has the same diet or cardio out of my 80 people. And that makes people feel special, and I want them to feel special because my gift, I was gifted with the ability to motivate, to the ability to, switch people's mindset, switch people's lives. I truly believe I have switched more gym rat people into gym rats than any other person. Every person I work with, typically, I'd say 90% turns into a gym rat after. And a gym rat is not a bad thing. It's not like ratty little face there. It just means it turns them into a long term, because that's what I want to teach people. What else are you going to do with your body, really? Tomorrow, if you decide stop working out because it's too much work and you're not seeing the result and the effort isn't equal to the result, well, guess what? Then you're going to start backtracking, you're going to feel worse about yourself, and then in months, you're going to want to do the same thing. You don't have a choice. You were born with this body, and it's almost like you're renting, and your rent is to take care of this body, do something good for the world, share your gifts, share that passion that you are so lucky to have. We have 2 arms, 2 legs, we have eyelashes. Not everybody has eyelashes, Eyelashes, beautiful thing too. Eyebrows are a beautiful thing. Not everybody has that. And I mean, that we are so lucky to have this little spot in time to do something. Don't sit back and be average. Don't do that to yourself. Okay, now I want to get back to the title here just for a second. What do you guys think, if you guys are listening, what changes someone? Do you think it's the success or the failure? What do you think is more effective in changing someone? Because I believe that the failure actually has more benefit long-term than the success. If I've won my show, okay, and I've done a show, I'm not going to go into it as hard. I'm almost going to be like, okay, I got this next one, where if I came second, that's going to leave me hungry. That's going to leave me wanting to get more, to do more, and willing to say, hey, I don't want to come second again, so I'm going to push more. So what's more beneficial? You know what I mean? And it's another great example is, building the ultimate version of yourself. Let's take an NBA player, okay, who does an amazing work and an amazing talent, but doesn't do any charity, doesn't share, doesn't do anything but just score points for his team, makes a lot of money, to the soccer coach dad that spends his life helping kids, helping parents so they don't have to do all the volunteer, because I don't know, I wouldn't want to coach, no offense to all the coaches out there, but that person who's a great husband and doing stuff for the community and gives to charity. But that person, if we compare their happiness, I bet that person's even happier than that NBA person who's got an amazing talent, an amazing job, an amazing gift. But this hockey coach or this soccer coach is fulfilled because he has so many streams of fulfillment. He has his marriage, that is great. He has his kids, probably, his team, his community, where that other one is gifted in just 1 or 2 things. So his balance meter is way out of proportion, and it's gonna go down. So what we want to do is, if you want to build your ultimate you, first off, you gotta be somebody who's significant. You gotta be positive. You gotta be somebody who people like being around. And that's when leadership starts. And that's when changes start. When you see somebody who's doing this and you don't know how they're doing it, and they're doing it with a positive, enthusiastic attitude, that's an amazing thing, that they can grind every single day. They're waking up earlier, they're late at night, they're pushing. That's an amazing thing. And to get fulfillment, you have to, like I said, you have to have all those streams coming in. You have to have your relationship, your financial, your body, your mind, all those little things. And if one starts to really drop, well, then you're going to start to feel depressed about it, because it's not, you either get better or worse. There is no plateau line. I don't believe in plateau. There's no even maintain. There's no maintain. Maintain is just a slower way of getting worse slower. It's almost like you're holding on to air balloons, and eventually you have one too many cookies, and then that one pops and you're just gone. You just have completely lost that motivation. So, if you want long-term, you have to think long-term. You know what? Improvement every single day is going to make me feel good. And if you can do that in each stream, you're going to feel fulfilled. You're going to feel joy. You're going to feel happy. You're going to feel like you have structure. You're not going to feel that anxiety. And some of these traits that somebody with an amazing standard and amazing way to push themselves so that they can be their higher self is, let me just go over it, they're courageous. They're not afraid to step out and do things that they could look like a total idiot. They could also look like a total failure. And same with myself. Doing this podcast, I have 1 or 2 people watching, and that's okay to me because I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it because I know if one person listens, if one person actually listens to this podcast, it will make a difference. It will make a difference in your day, make a difference in your mentality and how you look at the day and how you look at life. And I hope that you can find the ultimate version of yourself with some of these traits as well. They're obviously hardworking. These people work so hard, and it's almost too hard, almost obsessively hard. And if you are a hard worker, you appreciate that. And you appreciate, I would rather give a session than have somebody cancel a week or 20 minutes before and me charge them for a free session, because then they lose value. I want to work for my money. I love what I do, so I want to make sure that I give my clients the best value possible. And I hope that you can do that for the people around you. You should be valued. You should be giving them the best version of you, the best value. That's your rent for this life that this body is yours to borrow, okay? This is the only thing that's keeping you alive, the brain. The body just does exactly what the brain does. So, want to make sure that we stay mentally fit so we can be physically ready for any opportunity, anything that comes at us. Another thing is they're significant. They're significant in their community. They're significant in their job. They're significant in their relationship and as a father. They're doing things that are going to inspire and help people and be kind to people. They're doing great things and giving back to society and giving back to the community is such an amazing way to start to feel good about you. I feel great when I know that I'm changing things for people. When people are really talking and they're starting to say, hey, I'm doing this program and I'm rocking it, I'm making changes, I feel more confident, I feel more energetic, I feel motivated, I feel ready to rock, and that feels damn good, I have to say. That feels good for me. I'm getting the benefit out of that, not you guys. Well, you are as well, but when you can go and make somebody's day, it's your day that's going to truly be made. And I hope you understand that. So if you ever are feeling shitty, go do something nice for somebody. And I guarantee your day will change like that. Go tell somebody you care. Go tell somebody how wonderful they are to you and how they affect your life and the difference. And watch what happens to you as you start to think about that. You start to get happy. You start to get excited. You start to get these endorphins because you're not thinking about all the shitty stuff that you have to do today and you're worried about what you're not going to get done. You're thinking about all the great things that they do, the feelings that they create. And that's somebody who has an ultimate standard will do for a lot of people. I want to make people feel good as possible around me. When you come into my gym, I guarantee you're going to have a day made. You're going to feel good after. You're going to get a great workout. I will never leave you without a good workout, but I'll never leave you without feeling mentally kind of fit and ready to go for the next day. It's almost like you get a little shot of motivation, 2 to 3 days. You come back, I'll give you another one. And that's what we need. We need to be reminded. And if you don't see me, you need to remind yourself with a podcast or audiobooks or whatever. To remind yourself, and I believe that has to happen every single day. Because if you can do this every day and wake up and put that into your brain, then you start to eliminate all the other aspects, because you can't be grateful and hateful at the same time. So if you're thinking grateful, you're not going to be hateful. You're not going to worry about all the shit you're going to do. You're going to be focused on all the good you got in your life, all the good you have in your relationships with your people, with all your friends, with your family, with your work co-workers, with people you loved being around. And that's why it's so important. If somebody is not giving you those feelings, not giving you that joy and happiness anymore, kick them out. See you later, because you don't have time for that. And when you finally tell this person, this is how you know, hey, I'm going to do a program, I'm going to do this and get really fit and healthy, and they bring you down right away. And they bring you down because they're jealous and they don't want you to leave them in the dust. They don't want you to not have them in their blessings, because people don't want you to advance if you're not in their blessings. They want to hang on, especially those people aren't doing nothing, especially those people that sit back and are being lazy asses and are wasting this time and just want to catch on to you and want to catch on to you. You ever had a friend like that? I'm sure we all had a friend like that before. And this is a big thing that I'm going to get deep in, but can we change? Can we evolve? Because I'll be honest, I hadn't been the best boyfriend. So that's a very, very hard thing for me. And going forward, and if I ever want to get to another girlfriend, okay, I know that I have to make the necessary changes needed. And have I evolved? Absolutely. But because of the failure, because I slept on a couch for a year and a half and had to think and was by myself and wasn't living with my family as much, that was hard. And so I believe the failure over the success definitely oversees the success and has changed me to be, evolved to be a better person, because you're still going to get those same feelings. Those feelings or whatever aren't going to go away, but you can evolve yourself. You can mature. You can use those mistakes to know that, oh, there's a signal. I better make sure I stay focused, stay ready, and stay in the game, because if not, it crumbles. And I've crumbled many, many times. That's what has made me so strong. It's not what I have. It's not the 100 clients I have. It's, do you know how much I can take? Do you know I've been beaten and bruised and lost my business and bankrupt and divorced and separated and competed on a day I was supposed to have a kid, puked on myself on the day, seconds before the show, had allergic reaction on my tongue while at the show. Like, it always pushes me harder. Whenever I do a show, life says, oh, are you? Oh, are you? Oh, really? Okay, well, let me just add a huge debt. Okay, well, let me just add, last time I started a show 2 days after, I was told I had a hernia. Okay, by 3 weeks out, by leaving my abs, it was disappeared. They couldn't believe it. I don't know what happened, but it's gone. So these are the challenges in my life that I hope that you guys realize that, you know what? Everybody has challenges. I had hernias, I had ass problems. I know this is crazy, but I had some health problems along the way too, but I fought through it. Even through the financial, I had my jungle knife going through all that shit and realized, you know what? I'm gonna come out, because life won't let you not come out if you do not give it, if you do not push it, and if you're doing good for people, and if you're doing good for life, it will help you. I don't know what it does, but whenever I'm stuck, okay, when I was bankrupt, crying in my truck, being like, I don't know how I'm going to pay this bill, this $10,000 credit card bill. I got in a car accident the next day, and I got $12,000 extra for some reason. There goes the credit card. See what life does? It's seriously amazing. So I hope that you know that if you're doing good and you're working hard and you're focused and you're a good person and you're doing nice things, things are going to start to change for you. Things are going to get better. They're going to get better, and the people around you are going to start treating you better. You're going to start advancing faster in your career because you're a likable person. And when you are a likable person, it adds so much value. So make sure that you're doing something nice for somebody, that you're being kind, that you're working on you so that you can be the best version for everyone else. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed episode 10. Super proud that we made it this far. Hope everybody is rocking this quarantine life. I know that, I hate to say it, but I'm loving this little phase where life has changed, getting to enjoy my kids and doing things that I haven't got to do, like this. So thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in.